you guys. Okay, so we're going to start the review for the test on death and insects. Okay, so number one. Okay, so pretty much I already have all the answers here. So you're welcome to just make sure you get the answers. But I do like to explain it if you like to hear it, so it's up to you. So, anyways, match each type of mortise to its meaning. So I don't know if you guys remember, but there is death by color. Okay, death by color is liver mortis. So that's for death by color. That will be A. When the body turns stiff, it turns really stiff. That's called rigor. So that's why it's called rigor mortis because of the stiffness. So that is C. And this is based on a dead heat. That means it's based by temperature, and that's your Algor mortis. Okay, let's go to the next one. Number two, match the manner of death with the correct definition or example. Choices will be used more than once. Now, on here, yeah, it was used more than once. Okay, so most common caused by old age or disease, that's obviously natural, okay, because it's based on old age or disease. A man fell off his ladder and died. So that's very much accidental. That's an accident. Intentionally killing of oneself. So if it's intentional, then it's suicide. Death caused by another person. So no matter how the death came about, but somebody somebody caused a death, that will be homicide. It's a homicidal. Badly decomposed bodies found and the examiner cannot determine how the person died. So that would be undetermined. A person found from an overdose of prescription medication. So that's important. No intent of suicide evident. So that will be accidental. Okay. The next one. Match the description with the correct stage of decomposition. So parts of flesh may be black and maggots may disperse from the body. That's when it's C, that's active decay. The body begins to dry and preserve itself. Odor and insects decreased. And that will be advanced decay. Okay, advanced decay. So these are not in order, by the way. The first one is fresh. Okay, and then it's float, and then it's active, and then it's advanced, and then dry remains. That will be the right order. Okay. Okay. So liver rigor and algomort is taking place. Autolysis, that's when the cells die, begins and blisters may appear. That's A. Okay. Loss of everything but dried up bones, also called skeletonization. That will be dry remains. Strong odor, skin may break apart, and fluids flow from the openings. Gases cause a odor to expand, so that's bloat. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, identify the time periods of rigor mortis. So for rigor mortis, it will be 2 to 4 hours. That's the beginning. And then full of rigor will be 6 to 12 hours. Coming out of rigor mortis would be 18 hours. And then out of rigor would be 36 hours. Okay, now keep in mind that this is death heat. Okay, this is death heat based on temperature. Okay, temperature. Okay. Number five, what can DNA technology be utilized in forensics entomology? Well, it can determine insect species, definitely. Okay, what kind of species that insect is, and also human DNA from the victim. Okay, so sometimes, I don't know if you guys remember the story of the mosquito, had some blood, so it was in the suspect's house, and it was the actual person that died or the victim. Okay. Okay, so let's go to number six. List three environmental factors that affect insect activity. So it would be light, temperature, and drugs. And this was definitely your lab with the two tables. What body temperature will you expect for someone who has been dead for 17.4 hours? So on this one, I'm going to go ahead and this one doesn't have the answers in here, but keep in mind that calculating time of death, this is based on algo mortis. You're calculating time of death using algo mortis. We can make some generalization regarding temperature loss of body after death. For the first 12 hours after death, the body loses about 1.4 um, degrees Fahrenheit per hour. Okay, so you could do it one by one, but after the first 12 hours, the body loses about 0.7 per hour after that, though. Okay, so if it's after 12 hours, you have to change it from 1.4 to 0.7. So these numbers are estimates and vary depending on the surrounding temperatures and conditions, though. The body will lose heat faster in cooler temperatures. Okay, so excess body fat, of course, and presence of clothing will slow down the heat loss. Um, so for these problems, we have to assume that the normal temperate conditions, though, okay, which would be 98.6. Okay, that would be the normal body temperature. Okay, so again, keep in mind that a body loses 16.8 in the first 12 hours. So and that would make the rate of 1.4. Okay, so really 16.8 degrees, since this is after 12 hours, that's going to be our magic number. Okay, so again, 16.8 degrees. So we're going to go ahead and start deducting that. So 17.4, okay, hours. Okay, so that we're gonna subtract the 12 hours. Okay, so keep in mind that the first 12 hours is it loses 16.8 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, so this will be 17.4 minus 12. That would equal to 5.4 hours. Okay, this is with the 1.4 per hour. Okay, this is 1.4 per hour. Okay, for the first 12 hours. Okay, after that is 0.7. Okay, so I don't know if you guys remember the triangle. I like using the triangle. So the triangle goes like this. Okay, this is the one we need to figure out the degrees lost, and then this is the 1.4 or 0.7. So it really varies on that. So we're going to go ahead and determine that in a little bit. But basically, since we already used the 1.4 here, which is a 16 point, really, we're going to have to use a 0.7 on this one. Okay, so, and this is the time, this is the hours. Okay, so basically, since we have these two, we have the time, the 5.4 hours. Okay, and then the degrees after that, after the 12 hours, will be 0.7. Okay, so it will be 5.4. So we're trying to solve the degrees lost. Okay, total. Okay, so it's not just the 16.8, but also in addition that the 16.8 is a 1.4. Now we need to figure out that 0.7 because this is over 12 hours. Okay, so it's 5.4 hours. This is the hours times the 0.7, right? Because we have these two, and when they're next to each other, you multiply. Now, if you have these two top ones, then you would divide. Okay, and you're trying to solve the hours or this two, but in this situation, we're just using the bottom ones, and we're trying to solve for degrees lost. So 5.4 times 0.7 will be 3.78 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, plus, so again, this is the 0.7, okay, after the 12 hours, and this is a 1.4 per hour within the 12 hours. So you need to add those two because that's the total amount lost. Okay, So 3.78 plus 16.8 will be 20.58 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so the normal body temperature, and I'm going to have to write it down because I ran out of space. So the normal body temperature is what, 98.6. So, and I'm going to go ahead, since I have more space here. Normal body temp is 98.6, and then so a total of the 17.4 hours will be 20 point. That's the total amount that it lost. So 20.58. Okay, so you subtract that because that's the degrees, total degrees lost. Okay, and that should give you 78.02, which is 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so that should be the body temperature. Okay, that's the answer. 78.4, 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so the next one. A person who specializes in the study of insects within a legal context is known as, this is a forensic entomologist. Post-mortem interval, which is PMI, is the time passed in step. Number 9, list an insect's life cycle. That's the lay eggs, first instar, second, third, and then pupa. What are the 2 major orders of insects used in forensics investigation? That will be the flies and the beetles. List 4 methods used to identify the time of death. This is livor mortis, rigor mortis, algor mortis, and insect activity, which is entomology. Okay. In 12, in livor mortis, blood sips through the tissues and settles at the lowest point. How long does it take for the color to set? It should be 8 to 12 hours. What causes the color of death? Okay, livor mortis, gravity. I don't know if you guys remember, but gravity makes the bug go to the lowest point. List 3 factors that affect PMI, post-mortem interval, estimates using insects. Okay, it's temperature, okay, access to the body, and how deep it was buried. Okay, the body was buried. Okay, an examination of the development stages of the insect's present may yield valuable information about what? PMI. List 3 duties of forensics entomologists: collect and preserve insects, examination of the insects to determine PMI, and to testify in court as an expert witness. Okay. List 3 factors that will speed up the cooling rate of the dead body. Body found in cold environment, found in snow, lack of clothing, and also if it's found in water. Okay. List the order of arrival of flies on a postmortem body. List their scientific name. This is flesh flies, which is Sarcophaga carnaria, and blowflies, which is Calliphora vomitoria. Houseflies, which is Musca domestica, and skipper flies, which is Pupilla nigriceps. Okay, number 19. So number 19 again, let's do the triangle. Okay, this is the degrees lost. Okay, this is the hours, and this is 1.4 or 0.7. 1.4 less than 12 hours. After 12 hours is 0.7. Okay, so on this one, let me go ahead and show you how it's done. Okay, so if a person died at 3 a.m., okay, and his body temperature dropped by 1.2 degrees Fahrenheit per hour. So in here you have to find, okay, what would be the body temp by 9 a.m.? Okay, so 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. is 6 hours. So you already know your hours. Okay, 6 hours. And then it was, since it's less than 12 hours, it is only 1.4. So you have your time, which is 6 hours, and your 1.4, since it was less than 12 hours. So again, keep in mind that this is less than 12 hours, which is 1.4 degrees Fahrenheit per hour. Okay, so in here it will be times 1.4. Okay, and that would equal to 7.2 degrees Fahrenheit. And then the normal body temperature is 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit minus 7.2 degrees Fahrenheit. Again, this is your degrees lost. So now you have to subtract it with the normal body temperature. Okay, so that will be 91.4 degrees Fahrenheit. So that will be the body temperature. Okay, so list 3 factors that forensics entomology be used to determine. Okay, so this will be time of death, the PMI, location, and if someone is neglected, like wounds not cleaned. List 3 factors that affected body cooling quicker post-mortem. That means cold temperature, body mass, like obesity versus thin, clothing or no clothing, if they were sleeping or if they were exercising or active. Okay, so wet flies are often metallic green or blue and breed in carrion, excrement, or similar materials. These are Europe roe flies. List 3 factors that accelerate rigor mortis. That's exercise, room temperatures, and if you're lightweight. Okay, so number 24. Okay, so a body was found at a temperature of 87.9. Okay, so again, let's look at hours, 1.4 or 0.7, and this is degrees lost. Okay, so okay, so on this one, they give you the temperature, but you need to calculate how many hours post mortem. So if it's 87.9, normal body temperature, normal will be 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, which is equal, I'm sorry, and then of course you have to subtract it with the the degrees that were lost. So it will be 87.9. So it will be 10.7. You got to get the difference because you need to figure out the degrees lost. How many degrees were lost from normal to what they took temperature of, okay, at the crime scene. So it will be 10.7 degrees Fahrenheit. And then, of course, you have your degrees lost. This is a degrees lost. And then in here it will be 1.4. Okay, so it will be 1.4. So it is 10.7. 10.7, and you could tell right away it's less than 12 hours. Okay, because of the amount that it had lost. Okay, so it would be 10.7, and then you would divide it by 1.4. Okay, and then of course that gives you the time. So 10.7, that's what you have up here, and then 1.4, it will be the time, which will be 7.6 hours. Okay. Okay. An adult fly emerges from the pupa. So that's the answer. An adult fly emerges from the pupa. That's the brown. It looks like light brown, and it's brown. And then number 26 is list 3 factors that affect the corpse decay. That means temperature. Oh, I think we did this one. Temperature, access of insects, and depth of burial. So I guess I repeated it. Other than that, I mean, pretty much that's it. There was some open-ended question, but I didn't add them in here. So good luck on your